So we're going to be busy. We have all these boxes to unpack and assembly to begin. Okay, what are you doing, John?
So we got our saw horses out and we leveled them off this way, and we leveled them off this way, and we measured them off to be 4 feet in the center because we bought ourselves something. I don't know if Audrey's already showed you guys this. We got ourselves a little sawmill, a Norwood HD36, and we're going to start assembling that. So just follow along if you guys want to see how it goes. So here we're starting to open up the boxes. Let's see what surprise we got in there.
That's the cross bunk. Stand up, so. Wow.
So here we start. Audrey's putting the cut into the bag.
This is the first. We put the number of the bag up so we could always see what bag number it is. And there we can get into our bolts and nuts. So these are the bolts we're going to start with. And these are the pieces we're going to assemble. One like that, one like this, right?
Yep.
Does the nut go towards the front or the back?
It says to the front, I think here. No, the nut goes to the back in this diagram.
So the bolt is going towards the back. And the front is where the lip is.
Yeah. And the lip goes to the front of the sawmill.
Yeah. That's what we call the front of the mill.
So we'll try and keep that in mind when you're building this. This always goes to the front.
The lip.
The lip.
So we just put them in loosely, or are these ones we tighten up?
Yeah, we can tighten them up once you get them all lined up.
Okay. Stuck?
Yeah.
One side done.
So we have 4 of these regular ones, and we got an extension, is that right?
Yeah, we have to find it, but it's all in all these boxes. I don't know where it is. We found 4.
So we'll start with that and then we'll find the other one after. So we're going to continue assembling these, and then we'll show you guys a little bit later. Okay.
Oh, you tightened this side? So we're following the instructions in the manual, putting the pieces on the corner brackets, and then we're going to this, and in the manual it's marked which box you find the piece in and which bag the bolts you're supposed to use. So that's what we're starting. This we used in bag 4 and 2, and now we're going to put the top piece on here, and this bolt is found in bag 5, but the nut is the same in bag 2. So if we look, this is bag 5, and here's the bolts. I think they're a little shorter. So they go in there. And it takes 4. So that way you can't make a mistake because you're following the manual.
So one way we figured to assemble the frame is to have it up, because I like to work off the ground. And you put your pieces lying down. These are the 2 exterior pieces. And then we'll assemble the joining piece, which we'll show you there in a second. So as you can see, this piece here is the exterior one. Father shows you. And the reason I'm telling you this is because when you look at the manual, it's a little bit confusing when you looked at it. Just quickly there, it's takes a minute to figure it out. So I'm going to lie out 2 here, and then I'm going to put the other piece in. Father gives me a hand. Audrey can show you, that one's made like a C. You'll see it's made in a C shape. And this is the bottom, lining up with the bottom bolts down here.
So we want to put that in the middle. And the bolts go in.
Yeah, and then we'll assemble the bolts, and we'll show you as we go. So we're assembling the frame here. It's a little bit tricky to figure out at first. So what you need to do is, I don't know if Audrey can show you.
This one?
Yeah, that's the outside piece.
This piece here with only one lip going one way and one lip going the other way.
That's right.
And the inside piece is the one with the 2 lips curled on the inside.
Yeah, looking like a C. It goes on the inside. It's what joins the 2 together. So that's something you got to remember when you're assembling this. Otherwise, you're going to end up with some problems. It's got to take your time and figure it out.
And now we'll just bolt them loosely together.
Yeah, we're going to bolt it all together. And we'll show you guys.
So the sun is going down and we're going to stop here. We have the 2 side rails made. The important thing to note is the side rails, they end with the inside C's. And we put 1 bunk on it. And
made all the other bunks.
We made all the other bunks here. And we're going to stop here for today.
And there's a lot of bolts here. And when you're building this, what's important to remember, which we made a mistake on at first, is that you have to line the bunks up on the interior joins, not the exterior joins. So that's something you got to remember when you're assembling this. So now what's left on the frame rails is to put in the rail for the saw. That we'll do tomorrow. And then we'll start assembling the bunks, leveling it up, and squaring it all up. Then we'll be ready to start on the rest of it. So see you in the next one. So we've been working on this for a little bit now. We've got a good bit of it assembled, but it's not with the exclusion of trial and error, because now we have to remove the front hitch and put in the spacer plates. We forgot to put those back in. So we were looking at the videos and we're looking at the manual where we thought the spacer plate might have went in with the trailer hitch package part, but they actually go in the front. So when you're assembling this, you got to pay attention to where each part goes. So this part here, it's important to put in here into the front receiver. That'll slide in here. So we're going to put that in there and we'll bolt them in and we'll continue assembling it. And there's a certain way that this has to go. As you can see, there's a wider space here from here to here. And if you look down here carefully, you'll see there's a wider space here. So this will have to be, these bolts will be taken out. This spacer will be slid in behind and then we'll reassemble it again. we're going to slide the plate in. Then you got to line it all up.
Spread the big plate too much.
Yeah.
Good.
There we go, we got one in, and then you just keep doing that for the rest of them. So we're ready to put the cross brace on. According to the manual, you have to start your bolts. Just start the nut flush with the bolt for these two. And then we'll be able to slide up the other part, the cross member, which we'll show you. And we do the same on the other side, and then we bolt it from there. And then we'll pass these bolts through the member and put some more nuts on the other side.
Put it underneath.
Take your time.
Okay, dump the sand out of it. Okay. I have to push this in. Should I push it in? There, it's going up. Push my bolts back in.
You have to go up.
Yeah, I have to go up. Okay, we got it.
Bring it up.
So I got my nut. John put the nut on the bolt here, and I'm going to put the wrench in here for it to stop spinning. And I just turn my bolt, and it's coming out. There. And the same thing for the other side. There.
And on the top takes a shim plate, which we'll show you that in a minute.
A spacer.
Yeah, spacer.
Okay, why are you putting the bolts towards the outside?
So that we can install the jack system on there.
Because we have a trailer package.
That's right. And these bolts here will simply slide through here. And the spacer bar just pops in there.
Easy as pie.
There she is, 1, 2, 3. And on the bottom, you have to install these carriage bolts. Some nuts. And one thing you got to remember here is that you want to tighten these bolts before you tighten these here other exterior bolts, because that's got to bring this up into place before you tighten these. So that's something you got to remember.
So we didn't work too long at it today, but we got the end pieces on.
All the bunks are in.
We put in this rail, but it's not bolted yet. We have to find which bolt we need to use for there. So it's starting to look like a frame. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I think we're pretty well at that point where we're going to start tightening up. He tells us to, in the book, to tighten up all of your carriage bolts in the bottom to make sure that everything's lined up and together before we tighten these side bolts. So you want to tighten the carriage bolts, if I understand correctly, the rail bolts, and then the side bolts.
And you were talking about maybe using strap to tighten.
Yeah, to pull everything together, I was thinking of using a good strapping system. Pull it together,
and then tighten it.
and then tighten it, because we got to line all this up. So we're going to be trying to level it all and tighten it all at the same time to make sure that it's all the seams are tight together with one another, and that it's going to be level so that when you put the saw on the tracks, that it slides along nicely.
So that'll be maybe tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah, we'll get out.
We're just taking our time, right?
That's it. We're going to build it slowly. There's no rush.
So we have 5 cross bunks on this one. So we're in the process of trying to level it out. We got our 2 jacks installed in the front here, and we're going to put 2 jacks in the back, and we're get it all pretty level, and then we'll start tightening up all our bolts. But this is, it's hard to take a measure. Where do you want to measure from?
See, it's not lined up there.
Has to be pushed more to the back.
Forward.
That's to the back.
Okay, that's 1 foot. Well, 1 foot on the one there. What do you got?
One foot on the one.
Yeah, that's good. Right there. From the outside.
All tightened.
Okay, bring your jacks here. The jacks, give you the bolts, is it the same nuts as these?
Yeah, oh, but I'll get the package of it. Oh, you have to take the bottoms out.
There is no bottoms.
Okay. I'll go get the package of nuts. They're all the same nuts.
Here, I think we can get away with carriage bolts.
Carriage bolt. One.
Where did I put the other ones that we had up front?
I put them in the bag there.
Okay.
How come this one's not lined up the hole? It is. Okay. Oh yeah, there's lots of threads.
That's all right.
Do you want me to tighten them right away?
Yeah, while you're there. So Audrey's in the process of tightening all the carriage bolts on the bottom. That's going to help line everything up.
Show the strap.
Yeah. And we also put a strap on the top to pull it all together. See that? Hooked it down on this end. I'll show you. See, we hooked it on the top here. Go down to the other end. There's the ratchet strap. And we used the winch on the Rhino to pull it square. So we got it fairly square, and that's why we're starting to tighten it up. This is the bolts here we're working on. So we installed two ratchet straps on top here to be able to pull it all together, because we had a little bit of a seam here. I don't know if Audrey can come in here. We had a bit of a seam, and we were able to pull it together by putting some tension on it with the ratchet strap, and Audrey was banging on it. She'll show you that a little bit later. We have footage of that. She brought it together, and now we're going to tighten up all our bottom, and then we'll be able to proceed in tightening in the rail, lining up the rail and tightening it in. So that's what we're working on. How's it look?
Yep, she's closed up good.
Perfect. So we're working on the frame here. So to make sure that we're absolutely straight and level, we checked it this way for level. And we checked the bunks for level. And then we checked the rails to put a level across the rails to make sure that when the saw head's going down, that it's going to be level and we'll get nice straight boards. So that's what we're working on. And Audrey's got another little system going here. She's run herself a rope with a nut hooked onto a pair of vice grips. And she'll show you along the way. She's got to put her nut on in the middle. So I just knocked it off at the level. Got the nut in the middle. She has another nut at the other end. And then Audrey takes another nut, spacer nut, and she slides it in between. If it slides under just nice and clean, and that's where we tighten it. That's what we're up to.